Hey, shalom. Shalom, shalom. All right, hey, before we get started, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash.
All right, also double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, salutations, much love to the elect of Israel. All right, as you can see, we out here with the beloved elders, Elder Inop and Elder Monagun, on a quick on location. And what we have here in the back of us, if you can see it on camera, all right, this is a replica of the Ark of Titus here in Atlanta, Georgia, and it's called the Millennium Gate Museum. Okay, and this is pretty much, if you know anything about Atlanta, Georgia, this is one of the pretty much predominantly Jake city. All right, and we all know that the Ark of Titus is pretty much a slap in the face to the Israelites, man. Okay, as a matter of fact, if you go to certain, I can't remember the part of Rome that it's in, but you will see the Roman armies under Titus, which Titus was one of the sons of who? Vespasian. Vespasian was a Roman Caesar, and he put out a decree to pretty much destroy the temple. Okay, so whenever you see that art, that is really a slap in the face to the Negroes. Okay, because the place where we would go to send up our offerings and send up our sacrifices, they went in and they destroyed it. The Greeks defiled it, and the Romans destroyed it. And that's why the Lord said what? He would leave our temples desolate, man. Okay? So, we just here doing an on location just to, show that, hey, all around America, all these idols is erected. If you go up a little bit, you'll see a Greek goddess. It has justice, and she's holding up some kind of demonic symbolism. Okay?
Yeah, appreciate that. Go ahead. This is Isaiah 19:1. The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come to Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence. What's that talking about? When Yahweh Shai come back. He's coming back on that cloud or chariots. Like Spirit had it with Isaiah 63, said the Lord is coming in his marvelous apparel and traveling in great glory. That's the UFOs. When he's come, America is filled with idols. The White House is laid out in a demonic satanic pattern. The Washington Monument, which is the Egyptian obelisk. It says coming to Egypt, America, when you read Revelation, Revelation 11 and 8. That's a miracle, because it's what? Know that spiritually Egypt, spiritually Sodom and Gomorrah, and shit, we're in Atlanta. This is damn near the epitome or apex of Sodom and Gomorrah, because Negroes, Latinos, the white man's a faggot, when our people, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, they become super faggots.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
Revelation is 11 and 8, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city.
It goes to Proverbs 21 and 16. He said, he that walked in the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of his dead. These people, our people, they're dead spiritually. They don't know who they are. They don't know where they came from or where they're going. Now, they're going to, the scripture say, all Israel shall be saved, but the Lord says he's going to separate. 1/3 is going to be saved first, which is the remnant or the elect. And then 2/3 is going to be destroyed and come back in the kingdom of reincarnation.
Right. At the top, Revelation 11 8, the dead body shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
Spiritually is Sodom and Egypt. Sodom and Gomorrah, that place has been destroyed, and spiritually it's the same wickedness that's going on here in America. In Egypt, the Lord took us out of and delivered us out of the land of Egypt, but the Lord says he'll come again and deliver us out of modern day Egypt in the glorious apparel of glory, the UFO, and the greatness of his power.
Right.
Now I'm going to read that back in Isaiah 19. It said, the burden of Egypt, which is America, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud. Because there's no document or no record of the Lord coming back to destroy what you call Egypt over there now. That's how you know it's talking about America. And the brother give me Joel 3 and 19. You got it? It says, in the burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. That's it.
This is the party
Yes,
right.
These are the type of things that are going to be melted through the Spirit. And this is somewhat in the heart of the city. Because when you read it, the description up there, it tells you they put it in this particular position on purpose.
It's right there. Like every town has a square. A Freemasonry. That's why when the disciples asked Yahushua, what's going to be the sign of the coming or the end, he said, when all these stones are not left upon each other, because the Lord's going to rip up all this place because of all the idols. Every town, every square in America and throughout the world, they got squares. Go back to Freemasonry, go back to witchcraft, go back into the planet of Saturn, because on the top of Saturn it has a cube with these damn devils worship.
That's right. And if I could say too, even if you see around the centered around it, you see the Roman style columns.
Right.
You see all the Roman style, the Roman architecture, and when you go into Roman architecture, they had like 3 different styles of Roman columns that they would build. I know one of them was called the Iconium pillars, and all of them had a satanic symbolic meaning behind it, man. So everything, on the top, you see they got the Anno Domini, Populus American. They have all kind of codes and symbolism written within them stones, and the scriptures tell you what not to do that, like what the elders bring out.
Yeah, because now going back to that, because America is spiritually Egypt, because what? In ancient Egypt, under Ramses, I believe, II, they had all 12 tribes in slavery. Now, over here in America, all 12 tribes over here are being persecuted once again. And it goes into Joel 3:19, because Edom and Egypt are synonymous.
This is Joel 3:19. Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness.
That's because, going back to Revelations 11:8, this place is spiritually Sodom and Gomorrah, and spiritually Egypt. That's America. And Edom and Egypt, they're the new Egyptians.
Yep.
That's why they got what? The Washington Monument. On the back of your dollar bill, they got the pyramid with the Latin terminology, which goes back to Egypt or Rome, which is a extension of Esau's kingdom or Esau's kingdom. Nubis Order Secorium. It's on me.
That square.
Right. Look at that.
Yep. Right, and like what the elder's saying, right up there on this tablet, they have a paragraph, speaking on this art, and at the top of the paragraph, the heading, it says Novus Ordo Seclorum, just to add to the point the elder made. I'll continue on. It says, for the violence against the children of Judah.
Read that from the beginning, man.
This is Joel 3:19. Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness. For the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed the innocent blood of them in their land.
That goes to Joel the 3rd chapter with the Valley of Jehoshaphat. The Lord's going to get all the heat and burn them. He's going to burn this place and leave as a memorial for what? The violence they did against the children of Israel. All the robbery, slavery, the castration, taking the children out of their homes and putting them in different plantations, which is happening to this day under the guise of ICE. It still goes into what? The separation, or as the Lord said, our Lord Yahushua said, the kingdom of heaven suffers violence, and the violent take it by force. That violent is the so-called white man. How did he get this place and everything else? Through the swamp.
Yeah, that's how he was even able to erect this.
That's right.
Because of the initial Titus, he got it through the sword. Hey, and that was a disrespectful thing to do, man. When you go into the temple of the Israelites, that was a bold move, because that's if you go into the temple, that's where the spirit of Yahweh dwells.
That's right.
In the Holy of Holies. So for them to go into the temple where the Israelites would send up their offerings and sacrifice, and then come back in the land that they stole and erect that same architecture, it shows that this place got to be destroyed.
You see that Al-Bashir al-Shad has Edom and Egypt lumped together because history is repeating itself. Esau has gained control in Egypt, starting with Alexander, and then now he's gained control of Egypt again. Hey, even in real life, didn't it wasn't Gaddafi, it was they took down the so-called liberated Egypt when they destroyed it. It just shows you that Esau always has his part of Egypt physically and spiritually. Esau claims to Egyptian God, these deities, and that's how he gained some of his power. Alright, and that's how he's able to establish monuments and stuff like this. People are oohing and ahhing over it. This is nothing to reverence or to be amazed at. This is a symbolism of the downfall of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans.
And part of their trophies on conquering us as a people.
Right.
You know? And Egypt and America is synonymous in what? You know? Egypt and America is synonymous. One of our brothers give me Jeremiah 46:24. Listen here.
Jeremiah 46.
Oh, you holding that? Oh, bring it out, man. It's a spirit. Okay, go ahead, start.
It's Jeremiah 46 and 20.
Okay.
It says,
Okay.
it says, Egypt is like a very fair heifer, but destruction cometh. It cometh out of the north.
And that's a heifer. Heifer is what? A cow. Yep, a female cow. That goes back into Baal, or that the symbols of Baal. But it's also something that's about to be taken out or cooked by the nuclear missiles.
Now, I'm done out 24 for you. It says, the daughter of Egypt shall be confounded.
And that's America. Americans get all this Satanism, all these idols. They were birthed out of Egypt. They stole Satanism from all these top kingdoms prior to them. And they're the daughter. That's why it's known as daughter of Babylon, daughter of Egypt, Nineveh, you know?
Yep.
Land of Basra. All these ancient kingdoms that were satanic, America is a conglomeration of all of them in one. They got every idol from all those different kingdoms over here in America in some form or fashion.
That's right. Yeah. It says, she shall be delivered into the hand of the people of the north.
That links up with Ezekiel 38. Gog and Magog, Russia.
Yep.
Again, in Revelation. He's going to take down the leper or America. When you read Isaiah, where we was at, 19 and 2, the Lord says he's going to make the Egyptians go against the Egyptians.
Yep.
The Edomites over there in Russia are going to destroy the Edomites that's over here in America.
That's right.
Which is the modern day Egyptians.
Yep. That's right. All right, finish the last verse, verse 25. The Lord of hosts, the power of Israel, saith, behold, I will punish the multitude of No and Pharaoh in Egypt with their gods and their kings, even Pharaoh and all them that trust in him.
Yep, and that go into all Pharaoh, his host, his army. This time, the Lord drowned them with the water when they separated, when the Lord had Moses separated the waters, right? And we walked through. Now the Lord's going to burn their ass with that fire.
That's right.
The whole host.
Yep.
The Valley of Jehoshaphat. The Lord said he has a great sacrifice.
Yep. The second death.
Yep.
Yeah, Esau's bringing the heat, man. You know, Esau's coming. He's coming. He's trying to. What they did in 70 AD to us, they're gonna try and do that again. You know, by instituting this mark of the beast. And when they try to make a move with that Novus Ordo Seclorum, that's when the Lord's gonna rain that fire down, like the elder just said. You know, it's gonna wipe this thing clean off the face of the earth. You know?
And if I could say, that's what, when they destroyed the temple, that pretty much Romanized Jake. Because they didn't have that place of sacrifice to go to the Lord. It was no longer available. Just as you had when you had the what was it? When the Greeks went and defiled the temple during the time of Antiochus. You know, Jake couldn't go to the temple and sacrifice, man. You know, so now the third temple is who? It's the elect, the 144,000. And they're gonna try to come at the elect and try to do what? Try to implement that microchip on brothers. But the Lord gonna keep this third temple intact. And that's how Jake is going to be able to be joined back with Yahushua. It's through, you know, the Holy Spirit and him raising up the members of the elect. So it's all spiritual, you know.
I'll just bring out some history. This is in the Maccabees prior to 70 AD, because what happened in Maccabees came back again.
Yep.
You know, just like we said, history always repeats itself. There's no new thing under the sun. Now this is 2nd Maccabees 8 and verse 1. It says, then Judas Maccabees and they that were with him went privily into the towns and called their kinfolks together, and took unto them all such as continued in the Jews' religion, and assembled about 6,000 men, and they called upon the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, that he would look upon the people that was trodden down of all, and also pity the temple profane of ungodly men, and that he would have compassion upon the city, sore defaced, and ready to be made even with the ground, and hear the blood that cried unto him, and remember the wicked slaughter of harmless infants, and the blasphemies committed against his name, and that he would show his hatred against the wicked. You know, and that's an example of what happened prior to 70 AD with Vespasian and his sons coming in and ransacking our people, man.
Yeah.
You know, and that's exactly what they're gonna try and do again. You know, they said they were killing the harmless infants. You know, blaspheming So the Lord's going to have to act on that because he's very jealous of these things.
That's right. That's right. You know, and I got a quick precept going into that. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 1. And I'm going to start at verse 7. It says, your country is desolate, your cities are burned with fire, your land and strangers devoured. Salaki, I'm going to read it from the top. Your country is desolate, your cities are burned with fire, your land, strangers devour it in your presence. Okay? And it says, and it is desolate as overthrown by strangers. Okay? So imagine, you know, what Israel was going through when the Romans came and they ransacked the temple. When you look at the Ark of Titus, you see the Roman carrying the menorahs and the scrolls and all kind of the different things that was inside of the temple. This is a slap in the nigga's face.
Yeah.
This is a slap in the nigga's face, and right beside it is different condominiums and towers, and that's what. And Jake is, you know, worried about that, but they don't see this big slap right in their face. Yeah. It ultimately, ultimately they don't know it, you know. But that's why, hey, the Lord said what? He will raise up prophets in the last times to tell you. That's why we out here. Yeah. You know, we ain't getting a physical paycheck for doing this. We coming out here to edify, man. You know, you had something about
real quick. Sliding in there. It's Psalms 77:5. I have considered the days of old, the years of ancient times. And that goes right with it, man. This is history, man. Like you said, you got Jakes living around here, living it up, riding in Lamborghinis and, you know, shucking and jiving. Meanwhile, this is the history of our people, man. Yeah. You know? Yeah, to say that that we're considering means to analyze carefully, man. Yeah.
I'll say this, you're talking about history and the future.
Yeah, that's
right.
right.
You got over here already in Georgia, they got the Georgia Guidestones where they said they want to make the world's population 500 million. Right now, according to Esau's database, they said the world is populated by 8 or 9 billion. You know how much slaughter, destruction?
That's a lot, man.
And really, you look at all these so-called whistleblowers from Alex Jones, whether it's real or not, they always emphasize one thing, that Russian people gonna catch hell, but they really got to disdain hate for the so-called Negroes and Latinos. Look at that. You got ICE coming through. They're not grabbing these gooks or Chinese. They're not grabbing these funky Africans or Arabs. They're grabbing Latinos because they know that you're part of the 12 tribes of Israel.
That's right.
Oh well, it's like that is your point because a lot of them people, they're also coming in through the border too. But they're not, you know, but they don't talk about that. They just talk about what they're doing to the Hispanic tribes. Okay, but that goes back to the elder's point because Esau understands and knows that he has to eliminate Jacob for trying to regain that blessing. You know, and that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
You know?
And this is all symbolic of the hatred for Jacob. That's why Yahweh Shai warned Israel about this, and what's that, Matthew 24? We said when you see Jerusalem compassed with armies. Well, that was going into when the Romans came down on Israel after Yahweh Shai's departing. Okay, that was when the Romans came down. You know, you had the Jewish-Roman wars that I think it started around 66 AD. Yeah, give or take. But 70 AD, that was when like they came down on Jake. They took down the temple and pushed Jake into remote areas of Rome.
They call it an all-out assault.
Yeah, it was a straight blitz on Israel, man.
What's they about to do now?
They stopped all the food coming in, all the food going up. You know, a lot of our people were starving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Times too.
I got a quick precept. This is Ecclesiastes 3:15. That which had been is now. So like we were just talking about how the history of what Esau's done and coming down upon Jerusalem, upon our people, that's the same thing that Esau's getting ready to do now. History is repeating itself. It says, and that which is to be hath already been, and the Most High requireth that which is past. So the Most High is going to get his revenge on these Edomites, you know, for their indignation against Jacob, you know, because he requires that which is past.
He's got to be a trick guy. He's going to require them to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Judgment for it.
Judge for it. That's right.
Just real quick. This Psalms 137 and verse 7. It says, "Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof." O daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. So the same way that you see the archetypes, like how it is in New York, where with you can actually see them taking all of our stuff out, that's going to happen to you. We're going to come into these different lands and reap the resources of it.
Isaiah 6.
And you're going to be the ones to carry it all the way from Russia into the Holy Land.
That's right.
Or all the way from Europe into the Holy Land.
That's right, bro.
You know?
Yeah,
They'll
well,
pack
that's-
you on ships with goods.
And well, this is prophecy. That's why Scripture said things written aforetime before I learned it. This is Jeremiah 30 and 16. So therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured. And it's talking about the so-called white man, and you gotta look up Edom and Idumea. Or the Idumeans, when you look at when you do the research, and there's nothing but bad judgment coming from it. You know? It said, therefore that devour thee shall be devoured, so-called white man on top of that chart. And then you got the Philistines of nasty ass Africans. You got the Chinese, you got the Arabs, you got all of them. When you read Isaiah 11 and 11, the Lord said he's going to come the second time to get the remnant of his people. And then it said we're going to get together and tear the heathen up.
Yep.
Micah the 5th chapter, right? It said, therefore all that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thy adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and they that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. And you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans don't even realize you're being preyed upon. You're in the ghettos, they got cops sitting in the cut giving you tickets for noise pollution. Listen to that Jungle Bunny rap music or salsa, merengue,
Right.
reggaeton.
Bachata.
Yeah, all that bullshit, reggae, right? Then you got them sitting there giving you speeding tickets, seatbelts. When you look at all these trap zones, they're always set up on the hood. They're constant pull. Even right now, we was talking about it through the Spirit of the Lord. In Georgia, you got the prison system which got our people in captivity. Right here, and they're paying what, 24 cents a day? But right here in Georgia, this is one of the states, this in Texas, where they don't pay their inmates one bread cent. You're part of the prayer. Free labor.
I got something. And this is, going into Esau. This is Obadiah. I started verse 9. I started verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. So for Esau's violence and coming against our people, the Lord's going to cut them off.
Yeah.
And these are the scriptures, especially when you go into the book of Obadiah, that Esau doesn't like to get into.
Yeah.
Because it goes into his history. And these scholars and these archaeologists and these top elites of these so-called white people, they know. It says, in that day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem.
That's why the prophecy in Jeremiah said all thy adversaries, because it wasn't just Esau that benefited off of taking us out of our land.
Yeah.
All these other, once the power was stricken from Israel, all the heathens' power started rising up. The Moabites started benefiting off it. The Ishmaelites, the Arabs started getting bread. Elam started getting bread. You got to remember that we went to slavery in India too.
Yep.
In different parts of Asia, man.
Hey, the transatlantic slave trade strengthened the economy of the world.
Oh yeah.
Because Jake then, not only was Jake put on the bottom, Jake, like the elder was going into yesterday, anywhere where Jake is at, you're gonna have a thriving country, man. Your country's gonna thrive. You're gonna have flavor. In the music, you're gonna have flavor in the food. You're gonna have flavor in the clothing. Everything about your society is gonna be on the up and up because the kings of the earth is at the bottom. So you could put them to work and you could take all of the ideas like they got when you go into like these different corporations that create certain things, they have what's called a suggestion box, man. And Jake, you just pretty much write down the suggestions and put the suggestions in there. And when Esau had these big ass meetings, they take your suggestions and they implement them into their corporation. And they take all the credit and they just design a patent number and claim it, and then you go back to the hood, nigga. That's how they do it.
A little bit more. It says, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou wast one of them. But thou shouldst not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger, neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah.
Right, and this is the symbol of their rejoicing.
Yep.
This is the symbol of them looking upon us. The scripture said, "Thou shouldest not have looked upon us." This is the symbol of them looking upon us, man. You know, this ark is a symbol of that, man. Straight up and down.
So it says, neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction, neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. And they speak proudly now.
Yep.
Okay? That's why they erect these arches, you know. That's why they set up these days like Columbus Day. That ain't got nothing to do with, you Israelites at the bottom.
Right.
That's them conquering the tribes of Gad, the tribes of Reuben, Issachar, and then them bringing the other southern kingdom tribes over here.
That's right,
These
bro.
are there. That day is coming up soon. You know?
Yeah, precept. This is Lamentations 2 and 16, right? It said, all thy enemies have opened their mouth against thee. Who's our enemies? Esau, Chinese, Japanese, anyone that's not in the 12 tribes saying that is the heathen.
Right.
They said, all thy enemies have opened up their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash their teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. Who's the her? The nation of Israel. Certainly this is the day that we look for we have found, for we have seen it. The Lord hath done that which he had devised. He hath fulfilled his word. He had commanded in the days of old. He has thrown down and had not pity. He had caused thy enemy to rejoice over thee. He has set up the horn of thy adversary. And they knew it was prophesied that when we was going to fall away. They had witches, soothsayers. That's why they used to boldly boast, say it's manifest destiny. Because it was destined that we was going to fall away first and come back. Now we boldly say through the Spirit of the Lord, it's manifest destiny that your ass going to see.
That's right.
It's manifest destiny that your children get thrown upon the rocks. It's manifest destiny that all the saints of the Most High are going to have the honor to put feathers of irons upon your ass.
That's right. You got some more, 'cause I got...
That was it on that, yeah?
Okay, come. And just to back you up, this is Obadiah verse 15. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head.
Yep,
So the
that's
things that
tough.
you set up for us, you know, having us in slavery, having us down at the bottom, having us in chains and captivity, you know, trying to destroy us as a nation, the Heavenly Father's going to return that right back on you.
Double.
You know? Yeah, double.
Real quick, First Maccabees chapter 2, verse 8. It says, her temple is become as a man without glory. Her glorious vessels are carried away into captivity. Her infants are slain in the streets. Her young men with the sword of the enemy. What nation hath not had part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils?
And so,
I got one.
That's all the nations.
That's why you got Psalms, the 2nd chapter, where the Lord said, ask of me the heathen and the uttermost parts of the land.
Give them these for as an inheritance. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. I got something real quick. This is Micah chapter 5 and verse 12. And I will cut off witchcrafts out of thine hand.
And this is witchcraft. When you look up to the so-called founding fathers of this nation, the parliament, over there in Japan, over there in Africa, they're all based off witchcraft. All the heathen has worshiped Satan to get one part of this kingdom one way or the other. Everything we watch, all the idols of Lady Justice, is nothing but a remix of the Egyptian Mayat. You got the obelisk, Semiramis, Tammuz, the Queen of Heaven, aka the goddess of 10,000 names. It's all remix. You got Baal, you got Baal Perith. You got all these names. It's all Satanism, and they all have the same rituals of witchcraft of little child's anus.
right.
You know, when you look at IHS in the they call it the Society of Jesus in the Catholic Church, they show you the secret of their magic. The black sun is a little child's fucking rectum. And that's the power of their magic, which is witchcraft.
All right, it says, and I will cut off witchcrafts out of thine hand, and thou shalt have no more soothsayers.
When you look up witchcraft, it literally means any evil spirit. The Heavenly Father said, the Bible says there's only one good or two good, that's the Heavenly Father and the Son. But it said, honor the Son as thou honor the Father. Any other spirit, if you're sucking or sucking off of that vessel, is all witchcraft. Anything. Catholic Church, Mormonism, Allah, Baptist, whatever. If it's not the truth according to the Bible, it's all witchcraft.
It's all witchcraft.
And look, our people are heavy into that too. Santeria, voodoo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
Santeria, man. That shit is wicked, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Freemasonry,
Mhm.
OES,
Yeah.
Yep.
witchcraft.
And don't forget, you have a lot of our people that live in these other countries that are heavy into Roman Catholicism and Islam.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that goes back to the Queen of Heaven. They all have parades
Yeah.
with the statue of
Oh yeah, they was
Semiramis and
Levi be
Tammuz.
doing that shit heavy.
Yeah, they show you that movie, The Serpent and the Rainbow.
Yeah. Con, this is verse 14. And I will pluck up thy groves out of the midst of thee, so will I destroy thy cities.
Perfect example.
And-
of
yeah,
growth.
that's a grove.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
and I was gonna say, because that's what Elder Inop said. He said, "Is what? Hey, it's pretty much the laws of karma. So as you did it to us, hey, we gonna be going around the world knocking your shit down.
Yeah.
Hey, that
Burning
big
it,
Jesus
destroying it.
statue in Brazil.
In Brazil, yeah.
Yeah.
Who you think gonna knock that down?
The Lord.
Right.
That's right.
They got Egyptian obelisks all over the place. All
Yep.
over the earth.
Everywhere, man. It's all on top of buildings. Hey, they got the stuff hidden, man. So, hey, they tell you that. What is that? I think it's Ezekiel 39, where it says we're gonna go around and destroy their idols, and we gotta destroy
Yeah.
tanks,
Take
missiles.
that fire,
Just
that
burn
wood,
the fire.
and burn it.
Burn it.
Talking about laser beams and spiritual power.
Yep, and also in that same chapter in Ezekiel 39, it say how we gonna sever out men of continual employment.
That's
And
right.
guess what? We got some jobs for you motherfuckers.
That's
Man.
right, yeah.
Just to be quite frank and honest, man.
Hey, y'all had a couple of thousand years of rest.
Right.
Hey, this is a quick with the grove. Every church you look, whether it's the Mormon church, the Baptist church, all the windows are set up as groves, which go back into witchcraft, and they used to worship idols and demons under the groves of the trees and think that the Lord couldn't see.
Well, that's what
Man.
the arch is, because the grove is when the trees overarch over.
Yeah, yeah.
And they used to go in there and they do their little
That little
rituals
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Man.
Those arches, man. So these groves,
That's a grove,
they gotta
yeah.
be destroyed.
Hey, that's it.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm gonna finish it off. It says, thy graven images also will I cut off, and thy standing images out of the midst of thee. And thou shalt no more worship the work of thine hands. And I will pluck up thy groves out of the midst of thee, so I will destroy thy cities, and I will execute vengeance and anger and fury upon the heathen, such as they have not heard.
That's those arrows of the Lord. And just to make us quick point, when you go to every city, you got the square, every capital, you got all these different idols, and most people ride by and don't think nothing of it. When you go to the courthouse, they got all these idols in front of them. Everything is based off of idols. And if they only have statues, they use human idols. They have took the people of our nation and made them idols. Like
Yep.
your Michael Jordans, your Mike Tysons, Michael Jacksons.
Or celebrities.
Yeah, the word celebrity means the star to be exalted.
That's right.
But the Lord said, everyone that exalts itself shall be abased.
Base.
Right.
Yeah, yep.
Right.
That's right. That's right.
This is
We'll wrap
Isaiah.
up soon.
This is Isaiah 47:10. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me.
Yeah,
You
and what's
know?
their wickedness? When you look up Alexander the Great Faggot, they all dealt with soothsayers or magi's, or even when you got your next senator, president, they go to what you call the auguration. When you look up the augury, those were the soothsayers or witches behind the scenes. They have a secret augury in private. They already know who's going to be elected, and then they should do another ritual in front of the public.
Right.
Uh-huh. That's why the knowing and meaning of words is important, but it's all witchcraft. See, when people think of witchcraft, they look at a Harry Potter, which is true, because you look at the graduation, they're standing on the square, square and compass. You know, square and compass and Freemasonry are the square and the tassel, and they dressed in a witchcraft regalia when you graduate with judges. It's all witchcraft. But if you not learn what the Lord said, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, it'll go right over your head.
It says, thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee, and thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me.
Yeah, they said that they're the most high. Who could stop Big Bad Great America?
Right.
Just to link up how America and Egypt is united, you got the three strongholds or the power of three that the so-called white man used. The inner city of London, with the Rothschilds who command and run everything, right? You got the District of Columbia, go back to the Queen of Heaven, where they got all Egyptian obelisks, and the false prophet of all false prophets, the Vatican, that's why they all got the Egyptian obelisks, because they're intertwined together.
Right? It says, therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know.
Hey, same way it came down on Israel.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, the Lord said, suddenly Israel shall be compassed with armies. You know?
Yep.
Hey, and then it speak about what? The land of Israel going to be trodden down by the Gentiles. You know? Hey, it was all of a sudden. So guess what? It's going to come right back to you. Just how you came down on Jake in the west coast of Africa real quick, like an eagle. That's why the Lord say he'll bring the nation on you swift as an eagle.
Yeah.
That's the scripture say that's how Yahweh Shah coming. Yahweh Shah coming like lightning. So you get what you put out there, that's what you get, my boy. And that's what's gonna happen to you so-called white people. And Yahweh Bashim Shah ain't gonna let up on you until he accomplishes that which he pleases, man.
That eagle line, and the thing about eagles, you can see they prey from miles away. Esau was watching us for a long time, just like Yahweh Bashim Shah was watching you.
He was watching us through the prophecies.
You know how they weakened us? When they came in, it was Antiochus, when they came in with the New World Order, said everybody to be one. When Jake started taking all their philosophy, they know that angers the Lord, so they knew they could come in and we'll have a resistance.
That's right.
Oh, well, when you
Yeah.
go into the history, it was an Ammonite by the name of Achior. He mentioned that. He mentioned that to the Greeks. And it was like, if their power be with them, you can't do nothing against them. But if they sin against the Most High, they power, then that's when we can come in and take them down.
That's the
Guess
Lord.
what? It was all the
Other
heathen,
nations knew.
and it was all the, it was Ammon, and it was all the Judah, and all the heathen were together coming against Israel.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
when you get the UN, and is another word for Satan.
Hey, you know. So yeah, you know, just a quick on location. You want to close out with a precept?
Yeah, just a quick statement. We got one, let's say Joel, the second chapter, which says they came in with their armies. The Lord said he's coming with his army. When you read Joel, the second chapter, those armies are the nuclear missiles.
Real quick, Malachi 1 and 3. And I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage to waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh Bashim Rashad Tazabar Wak, the Lord of hosts. They shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness and the people whom the Lord has indignation forever.
That's it.
You know?
And guess what? That talks about them and their pride, because even when you see the double-headed eagle or the eagle on the dollar bill, it really represents the phoenix, because the phoenix, in their belief, comes out of the ashes and rebuilds. They said that they're going to come out of this Third World War and rebuild. Even that pompous bastard, what's his name? Charles Manson.
Oh yeah.
He said they got a term in there called Helter Skelter, where they said Darky's going to take over, but he's going to leave some of us whiteys around because they're not smart enough to rule. That's the pride of their Esau.
Oh, well, they're going to be surprised when that, what Revelation 13 and 10.
Yeah.
That's
Shoot,
right.
hey, when Jake get back in power, that's it. You in chains.
That's it.
right.
Hey, and that's why the scriptures make reference when you read the book of Daniel about that little horn that had the mouth. They say he spoke great swelling word.
Yeah.
Saying shit. That's that type of shit. You know, saying they ain't. Guess what? We gonna get rid of you motherfuckers through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Shai at a particular point in time. And that's written in the prophecy. Since you want to say, yeah, they gonna leave around a few of us. No, we not. Yep. That's right. Hey, we say the seed of Esau shall be destroyed forever. Thus saith the scriptures, man. That's right. And guess what?
That's how you know Trump is taking orders from the elites, because he said he wants to make America great again. Well, he has to destroy this America that the people know now in order to try to bring back this new world order to make the elites and they, put them, set them up. But the Lord, like the elder said, he got them in a trick bag.
Yep.
You know?
That's when you get that movie, The Purge. When you listen to all the purges, they say it's a new founded father. That's the elites talking about they came and took over their property.
That's right. So the writing is on the wall, man. We go around these different locations, and we can identify that these are the Edomites just based on this record. What other nation would erect what the Romans erected?
The Egypt, the daughter of Babylon, could be destroyed.
That's right. So hopefully that was an edifying on location. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. We had the elders with us today. Hopefully that was edifying. We'll give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors once again to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and safety to the elect. Shalom. Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah.